Hey, what's up? I'm X, and today I wanted to talk about the upcoming Trailblazer League rerun. This video is going to be more rant style than actual hypothesizing, so if you're looking for an exact idea of what regions you should pick when it actually comes out, that's not this video. I had almost no fun with the first Twisted League, but the second league, Trailblazer, was my favorite run of the league so far. And the follow-up Shattered Relics was also pretty fun, but I just didn't get quite as hooked as I did in Trailblazer. In this video, I'm going to be commentating over a very old video of myself and two of my friends completing a Theater of Bloodwell in Trailblazer. We had a very rough idea of what we were doing as we were all pretty new to ToB at the time. I dusted this video out of the archives and I think that it highlights some of the most fun parts of Trailblazer League, and I hope that it gets you excited about the upcoming Trailblazer League yourself. I know that ToB seems inaccessible to a lot of people, but that's what makes League so much fun, is that you get to play with superpowers and so you get to try things that you wouldn't normally do. Nothing is off limits. So let's get right into it. So right at the start, you can see that we're in Void. And Void was the best thing that we had because the regions that we went with were Kandarin, Asgarnia, and Mauritania because we wanted to finish at the Theater of Blood. We thought that was a fun end goal. So this is the best armor basically that we had. You can see in my inventory that we have basically no supplies, and that's because we had a perk on called the Botanist. And what the Botanist did was if you did use a potion at any point, so long as you didn't brew, you were always maxed with that stat. We also have another power here that makes it so all of our special attacks only cost 20%, which is going to be a major player for the SGS and BGS here. We also have the melee relic on all of us so that we attack a lot faster. Maiden is pretty simple, but like deceptively simple, especially in a league like this. We're also using Entangles in the standard spellbook here because to get Ancients, you had to unlock the desert area, which I don't know anybody who did. That would definitely be a big change for this upcoming league though, because we didn't have TOA before, but now we do. I also have no idea who that is and why they PM me, but they said that we were like showing off, and I don't remember what, but he called us autistic, and I believe right here I'm about to tell everybody in the raid that I'm autistic, and they said that they are also autistic, so it's great. In our inventory, we have the DDS in place of claws because Karend was not available whatsoever, so there was no Chambers of Zarek or anything, so we just had our little DDS claws here, and because we're attacking faster and we have 20% spec, it's kind of like claws anyways. Nothing really matters here because we just use Karam wands through everything because Karam wands were so easy to get. We could just absolutely hammer through. This video was made back when I when I could not edit at all. It's not like I do a phenomenal job now, but like I remember I ended up pirating this software so that I could edit this video, and this video was meant to be a tutorial for my clan so that they could see that they could easily get into ToB in Trailblazer with no issues. Bloat's a ton of fun, especially in the standard game when you can get a 2 down, but we were very regularly getting 1 downs after we had better gear and stuff. Once we all had scythes, this was so much easier. All we wanted to do was just tank all the time. I think by the end of Trailblazer, I ended up having something like 500 KC or something absolutely insane like that. I think it's more than I had in the regular game. My friend Fonty there, he has a rapier, and Snackulus there is rocking basically everything but Void, and I don't remember why he didn't have Void. I think maybe what he was wearing was better at the time. I'm not really sure, but we absolutely plow through Bloat, and it's absolutely no issue. Craziness. We just mainly buy food too because you don't want to buy brews, because the moment you buy brews, you have to give up your pre-pot, because the Botanist, like I said earlier, if you use the Botanist, your stats will remain however they were. So people were actually utilizing Zamorak brews, because with a combination of Zamorak brews and the Dragon Battle Axe special attack, people were getting the highest stats available, which was wild. I remember Nilo's being a ton of fun because usually Nilo's is the worst room, very similarly to how Baba's puzzle room is the worst room in TOA. These like wave simulators where they don't seem to get faster, it just absolutely drains the life out of me. What was kind of lame about the whole thing was that if you did, in this example, I have the MSB and the Trident, and those actually get no perks whatsoever. The perks I ended up going with were Last Recall, because everybody had Last Recall, and if you don't know what Last Recall was, to explain it plainly, if you teleported from somewhere, so say I was in Lumbridge, and I teleported to, actually, hang on, scratch that. Say I was in right next to the water or blood altar, okay? If I was right next to there and then I teleported to Lumbridge while holding my crystal, it would save my teleport in the crystal. And so once I got to Lumbridge, if I clicked the crystal, it would teleport me back to the altar. So rune crafting was awesome. Everything was really awesome. And I know so many people who ended up quitting because they didn't end up picking that, because back then your decisions were final. It wasn't like Shattered Relics. Trailblazer had consequences, goddammit, and if you didn't pick the right thing, you were very upset about it because it was just not a good time. Here I'm SGSing like absolutely everything because nothing matters, and we have no supplies. And as you can see, we had 20% of our spec taken away. I believe that this relic, this power actually gives you double your spec back as well, so you do get like an entire 20% back. I'm gonna have to wait to see when it ticks over, but I'm pretty confident that's real. It was very, very hard to die in ToB though. The melee was absolutely the setup. Yeah, it does go up by 20. I'm very curious to see if melee is still the like prime choice here, because with TOA, I know a lot of people are gonna want to be doing TOA, but ToB was like the big thing at the time. This was way back in, I don't even know when, but absolutely crazy amounts of time before, and this was like peak. There was the Inferno and stuff, but like the Inferno was only repeatable for like so long. I love all of the leagues because I'm very task oriented and I love doing very specific tasks. And the fun part about leagues, for those of you who don't know, is that it gives you this gigantonormously impressive and very strenuous list of things to do right at the start, and you can do them in whatever order you want. You can do none of them or you can do all of them. I ended up doing all of them because I don't know why. I just need the Dragon Cup every single time. Maybe in a weird way to compete with solo mission, but it gives you tasks, and if you do things, you'll probably just end up getting points, and those points will go towards you unlocking new parts of your like skill tree, which in our case it was you know, you could unlock the Botanist, you could unlock Last Recall, and you know, the higher you went up the tiers, the better the tiers were. But there were little things so simple. Some people like to go the skilling path. Some people like to keep it more strictly PVM. Some people even like mini games for the case of Shattered Relics. But I found myself loving the system because one of the ones that stick out to me the most is one that says complete 2000 monkey agility course laps, which is one that I know so many of my friends and myself would never ever do. But Leagues works in a way that your ranking is dependent on like the overall ranking. If you finish in the top like 5%, I believe it is, or something like that, you end up getting Dragon Cup. Maybe it's 1%. It's absolute craziness, and you just gotta absolutely fight. I love that we're just DDSing our way through a ToB, which would just never work. I never do those tasks, but there are like KC tasks, and it's just so much fun to have direction, because so many times, and I know I'm not alone in this, I will log into the game and not know what to do. A lot of times it's really easy when it's like Duradel is telling me what to do. You know, I have to go kill hellhounds. That direction satisfies the game pretty easily for me, but it's really hard when it's just me. I have no idea what to do. And just being able to skip so much of what I hate about Iron Man, because for those of you who do not know, I'm going to keep saying that, Trailblazer is all Iron Man. And there are things that just I will never play Iron Man for, but all of those issues are solved with Trailblazer, and well, in leagues in general, because there are things like farming that I never like to do. But you have perks that make it so you gain triple or even quadruple the herbs when you pick them, those kind of things. And they make the game a lot more satisfying for people who are like me and don't like Iron Man. Kind of just rambling here. I have no structure to this. There's no script. There's no script whatsoever, and I'm sure you could tell that by now, but we're in my favorite room, Soda Seg. I know at some point during this recording, I actually talk about how poorly I'm doing, but I honestly think I'm doing pretty well considering how little I actually played. I had no crazy experience with ToB at this point. Like I had maybe 100 runs with a couple of friends, but I still think I was just graduating from the Void tier. I am so excited to see what like COX is like. Oh yeah, I'm walking across explosives and hurting my friend. I see why I say what I say. I'm so excited to try these things at like Ulm, because all I wanted to do, and all I know so many of us wanted to do, was go to like Zulra, because once you picked your region, and those were unlocks based on how many points you had, you were stuck with those for the rest of the league. If you wanted a different region, you had to play a different account, which was crazy, and like something that today's RuneScape Redditors would never be able to handle, because they'd complain about the fact that they didn't get the region that they ended up wanting, they picked the wrong one. But like your decisions mattered in Trailblazer a lot, and it made you more proud of the choices that you did make, which was so much fun. But you also got to think about like the things that you were doing and the choices that you were making. It's like, why are we picking this region? Why are we, why do we want this region? Should I do this? Oh, what unlocks do we get? Whereas in Shattered Relics, that issue was solved, but it was an issue that I kind of wish wasn't solved. Just so that my opinion, or not my opinion, but my choices mattered a bit more. So you might have noticed the crazy tone shift here in perspective and layout and everything. We switched to my friend Zach's stream here, because if you can see in the side there, I'm really bad at doing the walk here. I eventually get it set up, but I was no good at doing this setup, and I only learned it for Trailblazer because it was necessary. Like, because our relic was in melee, we were attacking and doing so much more damage with melee, it would have been silly for me to range, so I just had to adapt and get used to it. But like I said earlier, this video was a tutorial for people in my clan to get into ToB, and so I had to show them, but I couldn't show them from my perspective, so I asked him if he would record himself starting the melee walk, and then I would stitch this video together seamlessly, and nobody would notice that it wasn't actually me anymore. And as you know, you probably we weren't able to tell either, but just in case, that is one. Yeah, see, that was me the whole time. Nobody can tell the difference. And now we have Mama Verzik, which weirdly enough, Zarpus and Verzik are some of the longest parts of ToB generally, aside from maybe Nilocus. And you'll see here in a second, this stuff just flies, and there are no brews in sight, just hard food. Another thing that's super cool about our relics here is that we have 20% spec energy, which also includes the Dawnbringer, so her phase 1 takes almost no time at all. I'm enjoying reading my old clan chat here, a lot of people who are no longer in the clan, but I remember these different grinds that they were going, like Hobo Bruce, for example, was super duper dedicated to only doing clue scrolls, and on call was going for rank 1 cooking, and like just these little things, just so many good memories of Trailblazer, and I really enjoyed Trailblazer, which is why maybe that's why I'm making this, is I'm hoping just everybody wants to play Trailblazer after watching this. It was so absolutely fun, and I hope everybody does ToB after too, or TOA. I'll probably be at TOA because TOA is my favorite raid. Verzik does not go this fast normally. On top of attacking fast, we also do take less damage overall. That was one of the perks of the melee. It is really helpful in a lot of places. Weirdly, we get 2 attacks here, and that totally just tripped me out there too. Everything that we're supposed to take significantly more damage on, we just don't. People were, I remember as soon as we started, people were doing their infernal capes and just seeing how many Zuck hits they could take, just to see. It was absolutely crazy. And something that only happens in leagues, like Deadman mode is such a fun opportunity for people, PvPers in general, to really enjoy their time. But League is for the boys, really. League is for the optimists, the fun havers of the game, because you get to do everything. You can unlock the wilderness as a region in Trailblazer as well, but only really Torvesta does that to pick on other little idiots. I don't know how they're going to do it this year. I just hope that it's honestly really similar to the one that we had this time. Maybe just with some more relics, because I loved this version. It was, to my opinion, perfect. There were just some tasks I maybe would have taken out because they were just kind of boring overall. But like in general, this league was just so much fun. Shattered Relics was fun, but swapping out your your relics were just, it was annoying because there were synergies and all of this and what have you. I just know so many people who I've talked to recently. I was under the impression that everybody played Trailblazer or some kind of league, but so many of you haven't, due to like work, thinking that you couldn't commit the time or what have you. And I need to tell you like firsthand that it is so not that way, and you can pick it up and you can play as much as you absolutely want to. This is one of my favorite memories right here. I know I'm jumping back and forth a lot, but running and hitting Verzik with a SGS special attack is something you will never ever see. Being able to like reinvent these new ways to play the game, where like, you'll never use a God Sword on Verzik in anywhere but a league. It's the craziest place to be. I don't remember if this is a purple. I actually skipped that part of the video just to see. I was being very hard on myself for the video. And there's no purple. Increased drop rates, but no purple. Who knows? That was a long rant, and I'm so sorry. It wasn't even a rant. Rants are bad, but that was a long ramble, and I'm still rambling now. I hope you enjoyed whatever that was. I know this was very experimental, but I hope you enjoyed this old footage, and I will see you guys next time. And if you want to share any Trailblazer or Shattered Relics or even Twisted League memories that you have, I would love to hear them. Actually, I do read every single comment, and I do reply to every single comment. So yeah, leave them below and I'll be there. See ya.